I'm Mark. And I'm Mark. And this is Mark and Mark's Mission Lab, the mission to save the day. It's Mark and Mark's Mission Lab across the galaxy. The portal pod's got a laser beam. Mark and Mark, Mark and Mark, they're off to stop General Merkenstein. Mark and Mark, Mark and Mark, the best buds for life and forever, so come and watch them play. It's Mark and Mark's Mission Lab, we're mission to save the day. Permission granted.
Mark and Mark's Mission Lab.
Agent Penny, what is going on in there? Why does the command center look like a tornado ripped through it?
It's nothing, Acting Commander Bossdude. We're just doing some spring cleaning around here.
It's fall.
Just mixing things up a bit, putting some funk into the feng shui.
I know those two screw-ups, Mark and Mark, are behind this. You tell Mark and Mark I want this place in tip-top shape before the crack of dawn, or else I'll have their heads on a platter. A cold silver platter of justice served with a side of consequence.
Yes, of course, Acting Commander. But crack of dawn, or else cold heads on a platypus with a side of cranberries. Getting right on it.
And one more thing.
I can't hear you very well. The signal seems weak. I'm losing you. That should buy some time, but not for long. Now, what's going on over there in the lab? Professor, did you open another portal?
No, it seems to have opened all on its own. It's very strange. I tried to remove the crystal that's powering the portal pod, but it won't budge, and it's heating up at an incredibly high temperature.
This is the strangest day we've ever had here, and that says a lot. What do you think is on the other side of this one? Could it be back to wherever Mark and Mark are now?
Too small to tell. I suggest we introduce a foreign object into the sphere's opening and monitor the ensuing results.
You think we should throw something at it?
Precisely. I find that this method fixes almost anything. At the very least, it will tell us that throwing something at it didn't fix it, and we can cross one thing off the list of potential fixes.
Okay, give me a hammer.
Such primitive tools these humans still utilize. I wasn't expecting this portal to be open so soon. What are you up to down there, Gregor?
Okay, you've got one more chance to spill the beans, Donovan, before I go full Spartacus on you.
Interesting choice of Grecian warrior. I'm intrigued to see where this goes. It's already too late. Our plan is in motion and there's nothing you can do to stop it now. You did exactly as Gregor predicted you would every step of the way, like little birds eating breadcrumbs on a trail that leads directly into a trap.
Yeah, except we're not trapped, are we, Donovan?
Aren't you though? I've had enough of this guy.
Say no more. This is Spartacus!
Oh, I see now. Sparta.
What is that? Like an Italian soda or something?
No, Mark. I think it's what you meant with the whole kicking down the whole thing. King Leonidas, who led the Spartans, shouted, "This is Sparta!" before kicking a messenger deep down a hole very similar to this one here.
Ah, I see. Who's Spartacus then?
Former Roman slave turned gladiator, turned military leader, turned legend, and eventually turned Kirk Douglas.
Oh, right. My mom loves that movie.
What? This is precisely why I chose you two dupes to be part of my plan. Two foolish fools, too foolish to foil any plan of mine. No one chooses us but us. Us and usually captains of sports teams, trivia games, and mission stuff. Okay, so maybe we get chosen a lot, but definitely not by you, Gregor. You're right, Mark. Not by me. But perhaps you were chosen by someone else close to you. Someone you loved and trusted like a father. The father you never had growing up. The one you trusted more than anyone not named Mark. The only person that could be who you're talking about couldn't be who you're talking about because his name is...
Commander Bart?
What? No. Commander Bart would never betray us. Plus, we know about the mask you made of his face.
Yeah, you can't trick us with your cheap illusions.
Oh, but I can. And I have. Kudos to you for finally figuring out that this was just a mask. A stupid, ugly, smelly human mask. But I implore you to ask yourselves this. How long have you been staring into the eyes of this mask? 1 minute? 1 day? 1 lifetime? Nonsense. Don't listen to him, Mark.
I've never been much of an auditory learner anyways. In one eye and out the other, you know.
Allow me to prove it to you.
Step right up.
Mark, you remember that one day down at the boardwalk, and you admitted to me that you were afraid of riding the Ferris wheel?
Ah, what? I never told anyone that my whole life. No one except Commander Bart, that is.
And you, Mark? Don't you recall the moment we shared 7 years ago when you first started at the mission lab? I told you I trusted you like my own son. That I chose you and Mark to lead the portal pod project because you two were the best I've ever seen, both in combat and in the lab. And you looked at me in the eye and said,
Robble Romp.
Robble Romp. Face it, Marks. Everything you think you've ever known is a lie. A masterfully constructed facade orchestrated by none other than myself.
But why, Commander Bart? How could you betray us?
It's simple, really, Mark. Because Commander Bart never actually existed. It's only me, Gregor. It's always been me. Why, Gregor? Why the long con? What's this all about? I thought you'd never ask. You see, I serve a higher power, a darker power that seeks to rid your world of the human plague. We've had our sights set on this conquest for a millennia now, but we have suffered detrimental setbacks over time. Finally, we have located enough of the universe's remaining power fractals to open a portal large enough for our army of the Darned to pass through. Soon, they will consume every flicker of light in this realm, and it's all thanks to the two of you.
Not quite sure we want to take credit for that one, Greg.
Through the guise of Commander Bart, I have used the two of you to construct my masterpiece, the portal pod. It's the only technology of its kind on this planet, and it's stronger than anything that you've ever known. Especially so now that it has the Sumeridian power fractal that you took back to the lab for me. I truly do appreciate you doing me that one last favor by taking the Sumeridian directly to the portal pod. I would have done it myself if Donovan's stolen Jethawk hadn't malfunctioned. But alas, you two came to save the day, and save me you did. So thank you, Mark and Mark. Your loyalty to the dark side is truly unrivaled.
That's it. Hey, Mark, let's Leonidas the crap out of this joker.
I'm gonna need you two Marks to chill out. I'm terribly sad you won't be around to see the end of the world as you know it. I really hoped that you could be there. But you two are proving to be too much trouble. And now that I plan to secure the fractal for myself, I can't risk you two mucking up my plans any further. As long as evil General Merkenstein doesn't find out that I've already activated the portal back at the mission lab, I'll be able to get back in time to take command of the army of the Darned for myself. And nothing in the entire universe will be able to stop me.
I told you I saw a Yeti.
And yet he didn't believe you. How sad. Soon the two of you will be frozen solid for the rest of time alongside your furry friend in there. If you thought what I did to you before by pretending to be your friend and the commander was cold, just wait until you see what 7 million years of permafrost feels like.
Next week on Mark and Mark's Mission Lab.
Mark, just when I thought you couldn't possibly be any more foolish. Oh, actually, okay, that's brilliant. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, you better.